What is up guys? So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to expose for S-Log using zebras. I found this to be the simplest method for getting good exposure when using S-Log. There are many different methods, but this method is really easy and it's quick, and that's what you want when you're running around shooting with a camera like this. You don't want to spend all day getting the exposure right, you just want to get it right and then shoot. So the reason why you want to use these zebras to expose for S-Log is you can set them to the upper limit and expose right up to the limit that S-Log can record, but you record slightly below it so that you don't clip the information and you've still got usable data. Because with S-Log, when you're color grading it, you just want to be moving things down in terms of exposure. If you have to move things up and boost the exposure, then you have to increase noise in the footage, which results in poor quality S-Log footage. So with this, you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself decent S-Log footage in minimal time. So let's just jump straight into the camera settings. Right, so for S-Log2 and S-Log3, they clip at different levels. First, let's start off with S-Log2, which we're going to need to go into the custom zebra settings and set this to plus 107, which is the point where S-Log2 clips. And if you want to use S-Log3, then you have to go into the normal zebra settings and set this to 100, which is where S-Log3 clips. Now you've got that set up, when you're exposing for your scene, you want to expose to the right as much as possible, so you're gonna make the scene look as bright as possible by changing aperture and shutter speeds. And one thing with S-Log, you should never shoot above ISO 800, the native ISO for S-Log. Once you start going above that, you're losing dynamic range, and it's quite pointless using S-Log because you won't have any extended dynamic range at higher ISOs. Anyway, so you set the exposure so that you've got the zebras clipping, and then you bring it down slightly by using shutter speed and aperture until you've got no clipping, but it's just really close to the clipping because you found where that limit is and you just bring it down slightly. The only time you want to allow some clipping is if you've got something like the sun directly in your shot. That of course has to clip because it's so bright, but anything else you should not have it clipping. The zebras show you which part is clipping, so you have it slightly below that. And then when you go to edit the footage in post, so all the information that is not clipped, you'll have that in post as useful color data, which you can edit any way you want. Of course, you'll have to bring down the exposure and you'll get some really nice clean looking footage with low noise, and it is much easier to deal with than underexposure or exposure that's not underexposure. Very soon I'm gonna have a new video up with an easy workflow for S-Log without using LUTs. It's one you've probably never heard of before, but I've found this to be my favorite way, in my opinion, the best way to grade S-Log without going into any long details of understanding complicated software. It is using DaVinci Resolve, but it is fairly simple. If you're familiar with Lightroom and how that works, you'll see a lot of similarities. And anyway, stay tuned for that video coming up soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.